meditation. All right. People will settle in. Okay. Turn to page 7 of the prayer book, please. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then, I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who were devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure, white heap, curd-like cloud, O Loksantrapa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable Guru, smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit, field for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit, non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned mundane concerns, made life essential. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Lobsang Drakpa's essential teachings specially shine forever. Big Med Say Wei Te Chen Chen Rezik 3 Me Kempe Wang Po Jam Pel Yang Du Pung Ma Lu Jom Se Sang Wei Tang Dong Chen Ke Pe Su Gen Song Ka Pa Lob Sang Tra Pe Jabla So Wadem. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remain steadfast. Homage to the exalted Three Jewels. Thus have I heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagrira on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomenon called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of the lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. Subsequently, looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence, five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics, that is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factor, consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element, and so forth, up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth, up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times, by relying upon the perfection of wisdom, become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra, the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is not false, known as the truth. The mantra, the perfection of wisdom, is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate para gate para samgate bodhi soha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, is trained in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gadavas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of the three places Dakinis, Tayata om gate gate para samgate bodhi soha. The power of truth of the exalted three jewels speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four maras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, shante kurie soha. 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, freed from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness. Bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Saji Baki Jushimeta Tramri Rablingzi Nidegempati Sangejindu Mit Dampa Yenam Hichu Kukala Kiense Twindrine Jitar Sampe Doje Zinma Lasa Echuki Chapawatu So Idam Gura Namandala Kamniryataya Chongda Songi Chomnala Jakju Pardu Gepri Gepsuchi Dagi Chonyan Gepe Sonam Ki Drola Penchir Sange Drupasho Chongda Songi Chomnala Jakju Pardu Dagi Gepsuchi Chonyan Gepe Sonam Ki Drola Penchir Sange Drupasho Chongda Songi Chomnala Jaju Pardu Gampi Suchi Dagi Gembe Sonam Ki Drola Penchir Sange Drupa Sho.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you?
Okay.
Good. Today's hard or cold or good?
It's good. It's good.
It's good. Perfect. That's good. Yeah, tomorrow's holiday, right?
Holiday, yeah.
What holiday?
Labor Day.
Labor Day means what?
Don't have to work.
Labor. They celebrate labor.
To honor we honor the labor unions and all the people that work.
Good. Good. That's nice. Look, here are a lot of different holidays. That's very good. You have to get out the work to rejoice our daily life.
Except for retail.
Yeah, it's good.
Retail works.
Really?
Yeah. Shops are open.
Huh?
Shops are open. So if you want to go to Marshall's, you can go. Yeah, go to Marshall's, Target.
They open?
Open.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, it's nice, We have not enough to vacation. Right? Usually people have never enough. Any kind. Our desires. If you think they say we need more. We need more. We need more. Very hard to, contentment. Right? This is nature, then we know this is no good, but it's hard to stop, right? Anyway, it's very nice. We are even your long weekend, but not going to vacation, try to come to Sera Center to study or about read or learn some Dharma. This is good, even we put some impulse to more benefit. Then we will do first, I want to set up good motivation to benefit for all Mother Simpson beings. Your friends, your enemies, and equal benefit for all them. Therefore, I'm going to study, I'm going to meditation, I'm going to practice. Because if we think about that motivation, then our practice is more powerful. The person you can see now, even the worldly, for our daily life, the person always thinking for your own idea, your own benefit, only believe yourself, people don't like, right? People are taking care more than others, always other beings, other people. People like that, right? Therefore, it shows something, everyone likes there's something to, go with the Buddhism idea. Just small example. Yesterday, John Mackin, right? He passed away. Everyone very, praise, right? He's always thinking for others, for our country, working hard. Everyone very praise. Did you hear anyone praise for person who thinking only your own idea or only thinking yourself? Someone passed by, everyone say, wow, he or she is perfect. He's just only taking care of himself. Have you heard? No, never read. I mean, those kind of person also, we are hard to deal with them. Therefore Buddha say, subtraction, right? Subtraction is very bad. 2,500 years before Buddha already explained, it's very bad. Only thinking yourself, right? Therefore, it's really practical, daily life. It's like you're working with a company, your boss or your, manager, then what? Manager, then? Directors, then what? President, then? CEO? Different level jobs, right? Like those, the person doesn't listen for the employees, but only he or she own idea. Then the employer doesn't like, oh, my boss is terrible. Even you don't want to say the friend, they say, my boss is terrible. That's not correct, right? The person, taking care, thinking for your own company or your employers more, then people like that. If someone, change, they don't want to change. Like the schools, how you call the school, the high level, the school boss, what you call it? Principals. If the principals change or they're town for something, people doesn't like, oh, we need him or she. He always just complain or doesn't follow or only follow your own idea. Then people always just, we wish he can change. She can change. Like that. Anyway, it's very practical, right? And the Buddhism always says, when Buddhism just start talking, don't be self-chasing. Be kind to others. Think about more others. Therefore, even we don't really do for benefit of others, but we motivation taught with that is also more powerful. Therefore, we always, Buddhism say, you need to get motivation, action, dedication. Your motivation, good Mahayana motivation, the action much you can't. Then after you're done, you can dedicate. Then you can use the benefit of the merit until you achieve enlightenment. Okay? Like that, always motivation is very important. Okay, do you want to talk a little bit meditation, okay? Otherwise, sometimes people say, we're not meditation. Just everyone sit comfortable much as you can, okay? Just watch your own mind. At the moment right now, what are you thinking? What's going on in your mind? Just watch a little bit. then change what you're feeling right now. Now start thinking on the front of you, on the Buddha Shakyamuni statue. If you are comfortable, very small, the colorful, like light, cursor light. If you're not familiarized, you can huge, very big one set in front of you. Think about the Buddha's body shape. First starting from head on the top to go through whole body one by one. Then be more clear, much you can. Try to visualize the whole body at the same time. Very clear, very light, colorful. Try to only think about that. Keep your mind on the Buddha statue or image of Buddha. Then we all going to recite together the mantra of Buddha's name mantra. Now you try to reset your own heart without sound. Try to more focus that. When you recite, it gives you happy, peace feeling. To visualization, you get some blessing. Keep your mind peace, happy and relaxed. Okay. Other, do you feel some? It's give you a little bit calm. You can say, yeah, calm. You know. Sometimes, like meditation, so many different ways, any different kind. Okay? Then I always, mention or say, usually, we all just human being. Are you guys human being? Regular?
Yes.
Anyone, any visualization, or realization? Any kind of qualities? Maybe, renunciation? Maybe first beginning? It's hard for all of us, we all just human beings. Sometimes we mistake. Even we have some different names, such person, such, but doesn't matter. The name's only name. We all mistake. Then he or she or you, sir, if some mistake is okay. Okay? And Manzo tar soso girkin bainare. Soso ropai bainare. And the sigi notu chevaina, notu ho sigare. And Manzo chazon that numoba, the chasheta, tumusum gishan, chadeyavanza, and notu ho sigare. Telacha, Manzo Hassan Maris.
It's possible, that we may make mistakes individually, and as a group. We may, make mistakes, and that is nothing to be surprised because we are all human beings, right? We are human beings who are still under the control of karma and delusions, and therefore, if we make mistakes, it's nothing to be surprised. Because we are controlled by our mind, and our mind is controlled by the delusions. So we have this a backup, friend behind us, very strong, the delusion. So therefore, it is very possible, easy for us to make mistakes. So whatever kind of names or titles we carry, or whatever kind of practices we do, we may still make mistakes. And so there's nothing to be surprised about that. And so we may make mistakes, from our side, and that's okay. That's nature, of being under the control of delusions.
Right?
If we don't have any mistakes, then of course we'll not make. If we don't have any faults in us, any bad qualities or faults in us, then we'll not make any mistake. Then we'll be fully enlightened Buddha, right? And we don't have to be here. So don't have to go to work for 8 hours a day. Don't have to pay bills.
Okay? There's a man who know to younger, no to Yona, tell him not to Yosan chair. Miss Shembaga, no to younger, tell her Yosan chair, Keo Mare.
And so, so therefore we make mistakes, and other people may make mistakes also. So we should not be so surprised about that. So usually, we will find some lessons, when we make mistakes. So that is if you understand the mistake as a mistake. Some people make a mistake and they don't know that's a mistake. And they don't learn anything, they don't get any lessons. If you see that as a mistake, then you will learn something from that. So therefore we have to understand the mistakes as mistake. Many of us don't understand that. Many of us we make mistakes and we don't know that's a mistake.
Okay? Tendeza namjokaji sosogo notu chewana tela nyeba ba hakoni shuma tende mayongati sosogo tachi kantabto cheje nega chembore.
And so if we understand that mistake as a mistake, then we will try not to do it again, right? And then so that's most important. Once you understand that, then not to do it again.
Shatangi ngadu thama khowa changja simjin thawa changja ta ngada ngado ni thawa changja yesa ngadu sama namjo tik nami duk mare kari inba na.
So what is done is already done. You can't undo it, right? But you can make a promise not to do it if you understand the mistake as a mistake. And so all the ordinary beings like myself who are under control of delusions is prompted to make mistakes. So there's nothing surprise about that.
Tendeza karo. Ani ta nyeba ngama josho da shimala donsam se ayore. So ani chetna ya posha ayore.
And so understanding the mistake as a mistake, you regret for what mistakes you have already done, and then you make a promise to not repeat that kind of mistake again in the future. So those two things are very important.
Karo regret ni shembachi yongado. Tik shembachi kada. Kodo peja madashi.
Karela?
Regret njobachi.
Regret, remorse.
Evil. Kaza tem kodo tik duaji peja madashi yo.
Alele, sin.
Sin.
What's the other word for
regret? Similar.
Guilt.
Oh yeah. What this was sometimes but this was not like Maradra. So something changes to Gyume.
So guilt is more like intentional, is it? Or I don't know. I mean, I don't know, somebody said that guilt is not a good word, is it?
No, because you feel bad about
yourself, yeah.
Then also there's guilt, shame. Anyway.
Shame was the one where you felt. There's a difference between guilt and shame.
Okay, anyway, continue by the Kaji. Not to Yogore, not to Yona Kena Mari, Meshabaga, not to Yogore, take each Hasa Mari, not to Sama Yumogi, Kumagana Judeza, not to Yosa the Keo Mare.
So anyway, so of course, like I mentioned, it is possible for us to make mistakes because we are ordinary sentient beings. Ourselves, just like ourselves, the others who are also ordinary sentient beings, they can make mistakes too. So there's nothing to be surprised about that. And because it all depends on our karma, right? Therefore, things may not happen the way we want, right? So there's nothing to be surprised about that either.
What? Something not a military level partner,
and also sometimes we ask somebody else to do the jobs, or expect somebody to do something for us, then they might not do that. Nothing to be surprised about that. I mean, nothing to feel bad about that either, because that also depends on karma.
Okay, then I'll do my biggest show later, less at the pin,
So, we have a very good excuse in Buddhism. We blame everything on karma.
What is it? Conzo Lelin Jiten, not so chess, Jitel, let's say, Lelin Jiten, not so chess.
But it's true, everything depends on karma, right? So everything that we have in this world It's all because of karma.
Okay? What is the that Suzuni Sabanandagi? I can't to Chiaya Chenate, Dayakushara.
So, but from our side, we try our best, to be, to have a good intention, and a good motivation as much as possible.
Then the time Nanzogi Kanchi Nanzo that Devada Dungas and Ligi Devada, Simple Devas, Chick down. I mean, Ligi Dungada, Simple Dungas, need Kaji Part Donating and Moy, Mabutak, Part Donating and Dugurabas.
And so all the feelings, like happy and unhappy, and it can be all coming to physical and mental, right? Physical suffering and mental suffering, or physical happiness and mental happiness.
Today you are there, and it's kind of Jelly, then you want to target, Jedan kind of a color, the
And that feeling also comes through cause and condition. Without causes and conditions, there's no way we can get those feelings.
Listen to that's so simply shoot shadow.
And among these two, the physical and the mental feeling is more strong, right?
And the legal chick, but not Nazado Yavana, because simply Shara Telachikaro, Donasagamadu, pass him showing the Machina, could Nagati Koshad, Domanto Madoa. So,
even if we have a severe physical suffering, but if our mind, our state of our mind is very calm and doesn't take it seriously, then that doesn't affect so much, right? The physical suffering doesn't affect so much.
And it's here, Nazaro, Chuju, what it does, Semba, Pemitachi, Nigaro, Zeta, Sem, my Shimda Wachona, and Linatati, Uncle, somebody.
But even if you have a very small physical suffering, like small disease in your body, but your mind makes it like very big, worries so much about it, then it becomes so much worse, right? So just from our own experience, right? From the way we think about it, it makes big and small, right? So on top of that, we have these superstitions, right? Conceptual mind superstition, which makes things even more worse. Do you guys have superstitions? Superstitions. You don't have, right? So Asian people, like especially Tibetans and Chinese, have so much. Maybe Indians also. Very strong superstitions. So because now you become Buddhist, maybe you might get more superstitious. Especially when you see the Tibetan calendar, it tells you which day is good, which day is not good, elements, and all these things. And then on top of that, you hear about the feng shui, and then you get more superstitious. So if you look for a good day on a calendar, you will not see any good days at all.
Do you follow the calendar? Yeah. Tope kanje milaya karo labat da terem de la ngodo shojin to zo ta milan to la chala do chagdo wa ta shodan yaboro yini jero pend mom to ko da ya te peje awta ma jina to milan nam to la yagi jendo ngodo.
So one way is good, right, to have those astrological calendars, so that tells you which day is good, which day is not good. But on the other hand, it can also create superstitions in mind, So so it depends on how we really use it. So His Holiness also said that he doesn't like it. He's not very fond of the astrology things, but he said you don't have to ban it just because I don't like it. You can still carry on.
들리자. 근데 저서 나출라 들좀 그래 저도 스타스면 저와로 오지 안에 딱 아직 빠진 되게 오산 말에. 다 시험하지고 다 나출되는 전에 야도 텔레간에 어느 남배 텔레 마치. 아니 캐나다가 남도 찍라. 저뭐 다고 아니 시나 찍라. 텔레 아니 fak시가 내면 직접 아니 세대가 제저 소셜이라.
So you see trouble in your life, right? And you see trouble in your life, and then you hear about Buddhism, and you say, oh, that makes sense. Maybe I can come into Buddhism, be a Buddhist, and then I will be free from those troubles. And then you come to be a Buddhist, and then you see all these superstitions, calendars, the feng shuis, and all these things. Then you get into more trouble.
Right? 더 쇼치니 소소 살라 마드는 인지미고 제가 이 말와.
So those are, to bring some aid, to your life, and then maybe make the things easier. But if it doesn't, then don't have to apply that.
어디서 근데 식당 근데 주보 전에 제가 야보요는 잠리 강가 바지 아시아 저는 야보냐면 요 말이.
So if people who follow the astrological, the calendars, and say that those days are good and you do those things good, and then if it happens good, then that's really good. But it's not necessary. Yeah, not necessary that it will be good on that day also. So there's like good elements. The combination of elements very good, but bad things happen on that day. So if it is true, then all the Asian countries who follow that should be so good. But they're not, right?
아니 못해야다 티제도 저 배워는 뺀배워다 배워는 요도 사죠 말에 배워는 단대 갑래나 배워배 도면이지는 간지 더블이 참도 되대요. 가지 못해 티제 주부 건도께는 뭐만 돼요 말아.
도면이사?
다 제가 잖아. 가지 배워라지 저러라지 간지라 오면 돼요.
And so, especially in Tibetan culture, they follow the dice divination. You have heard about divinations, dice divination, and the astrology. They follow that so much. But they have most problems. There are two parts now, right? One part in Tibet and one part outside of Tibet. And even among these parts, there are so many problems. So even if you follow all these things, you still get so many problems. Yeah, they always do more, the dice divination. They always do that, and they also do the astrologies. So it shows that, because there's still so many problems, shows that, that doesn't really work. If following that only good things happen, then it should happen only the good things only. But still so many bad things happening.
다 fak시 외대다 모두 재미를 lucso 바지 재미 lucso 들어와. 다 재미야 마차 될 치. 되나요? 재미가 야부 차वर 와서. 모두 요다 정말 좋아하는 거 와서.
So also another thing about the feng shui, right? You have heard about feng shui. That's very strong in China, the Chinese culture, very strong. And then some people say, oh, you do this, do that, and you'll be so good. But again, not necessarily that it will be good. So not necessarily if you follow the feng shui, the instructions, you'll be good also.
근데 지참고 차고에나 소소 지원하면 레지고 그래. 아니 세디가 깔리자고 그러면서 자고 말해.
So those are just like a condition, and not necessarily that's a good condition, that can apply that. So main cause is, of course, your karma, right? So if you want to be rich, then you have to have had practiced the generosity. In the past, and then you will have a good result of being rich in this life. Otherwise, without that, just following feng shui or astrological things, you will not be rich.
군도 뭐뭐서도 배워는 잠발을 뭐뭐서요. 잠발을 빼 뭐뭐서요. 이랬어. 나 배워나라야 빌링 말 지어 말했어. 취치는 캠 밀레게 노쇼바도나 되는 요랬어. 잠발을 요 말송도.
So His Holiness also mentioned about this wealth deity. Like in Tibetan, we have a wealth deity. It's called Zambala, and there are so many Tibetans who worship, to the wealth deity Zambala. But there's none of Tibetans who are millionaires or billionaires, And then those, and those people in the West, who doesn't believe in any of these things and who doesn't worship Zambala, there are millionaires and billionaires there,
근데서 단소용한테 수수고 지원하면 레 센디게야. 아니 아니 소소까지도 마무리 놓고 말고 내려오죠 말해.
So that all depends on so many things, like cause and conditions, like past lives karma, this life's condition, and your effort from your side also. So all these many things coming together, bring you the good result.
that chance in Bayanaya. Start showing the number Saba. And the Tina that Shancho saying pain. And that Tajing pain so that when the payment to Yapoji someday Chiangaji. They'll cheat you Grata, Nodango, Tancho Mataba, legend and Korean Michaja, she did Kabaya. That the Chene. Tayachi Mutucho the Tiger was.
So, and many of you here, who are new to Buddhism, right? You come into Buddhism thinking that, oh, everything will be good. But then when you come into it, then you hear all these bad things. Death and impermanence, karma, all the sufferings and all this samsara. And when you think about all these things, you say, oh, there's no way I can be free from all these things. Right?
Well, today is that to do Tamaching Monichi. Tower the Trijiba Komato Sadi. The condition is Shiva Naji, so the Lama and do very much. Lama Madana, you want to marry.
But of course, the method, to be free from all these sufferings and how to achieve liberation and enlightenment is taught in Buddhism too. And that instruction is there, but we have to apply the method, the practice, effort from our side. If we don't, then there's no way we can achieve. If we do, then it is possible to achieve. And so the best way, to deal with the things is through thinking it properly, from your mind. And so understanding about the mind, the science of mind is very important. So if we really understand about mind and mental factors, right? And about the mind, the science of the minds, like mind and mental factors, or the object and object possessors and things like that. Then we can really understand about the mind, and we will know how to think really properly.
Okay.
So understanding, the different kinds of minds, right? What are good minds, what are bad minds? Like understanding the good qualities of the loving kindness, compassion, and benefiting others, the thought of benefiting others, and so forth. See how those really brings benefit to our mind, to ourselves, and to others in our life also.
Okay.
So when we hear this kind of instructions, then we have to take it personally to ourselves. If we think that, oh, he's talking about something and he's talking to somebody else like that, then it doesn't benefit us. And so we have to include ourselves in that group, who are receiving the instruction. If we don't include ourselves in that group, then we don't receive the benefit.
Okay. Then the time I do counter the time of Kazakhstan, Shanchu Semgi, Shanchu Semgi, one at Tanachi. Dumbledore. Dumbledore, do you say the Tony Chinyoga, the Chinyogana, Consem Makua, and Jagata, Semgon at Taliga, pay Chimba the jury.
And then also, about this positive mind, right? The highest of the positive mind is the bodhicitta, thinking about other beings. Wishing to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of the sentient beings, which is so valuable that you can't buy it, even by selling the whole wealth, of the whole world, the wealth of the whole world. If you sell that, you will not be able to buy this. And so right now we don't have bodhicitta in our mind, therefore we don't see the potential of the bodhicitta. But that's more advanced mind, right? So if they look talking about simpler mind, like compassion and loving kindness, those we can understand, right? So just by having those in our mind, how much happiness and benefit it brings to us, we can see that, right?
Okay. They might have got a Pamijalaya Pula and 다 잠바도 니지데 슈침고 여버들 때는 거예요, 봐.
So like parents will never, intend to harm the children, right? The reason why is because they have so much, love towards their children.
오케이? 그래서 다 가다는 마다 시단 내가 담보 되게 상처선지 배워서 그래. 다 되게 배워진이 상처선데 수수제라 지워라 아니 수수 아니 샘도 싸마치고 그래서 다 내가 니바데 예수 거요, 봐.
And so then we're talking about the bodhicitta. The whole chapter is talking about bodhicitta. So the first chapter talks about the benefits of bodhicitta. If you are able to generate bodhicitta, then what benefits are there? And then how do we generate this kind of beneficial mind, of enlightenment? So in order to generate that, you have to prepare your mind first, by cleaning it. By purifying the obstacles and by accumulating the favorable conditions to generate it. So
Okay.
that's talked in the second chapter.
어디 딱 가서 슐러가 섬지 소지든 마시에서 시험으로.
So did we talk about the verse 34 last time?
Well, we ended on 30, I think.
30th?
33 we ended.
No, we ended 33.
That's what I have.
33. I think I think so, yeah.
Right, yeah.
어제 다 내가 마땅 처음 맡아보고 쏜 거예요, 봐.
So here it is talking about death and impermanence, right?
봐. 다 안에 슐러가 섬지 소시든 예천도 줄어오다, 봐.
So let's read this verse 34. I have committed vices for the sake of friends and enemies. This I have not recognized. Leaving everyone behind, I must pass away.
다 가려 아니 소수 미신마베 왕게 아니 소수가 지금 간에 분도가 쳤다 아니 소수가 다 녀바마고 싸요레스 더나 도도 되는 봐.
So out of ignorance, right? Because of not knowing what is right and what is wrong, out of ignorance, we have created so much negative karmas, for the sake of ourselves, our friends, and because of our enemies and so forth, right?
봐. 어떻게가 딱 탐초 버든 자규바 다가트다 마시비 자다 문제 변지시 딱 녀바나바 나서 셰스로 봐. 아니 딱 나도 치가라 신도를 가봐야 아니 나도 소주고 녀녀로 딱 가리는 자시 제자라 최고 샤는로 그래서
So not knowing that we have to leave everything behind when we die, right? Not knowing that, we created so much negative karma, for the sake of friends and enemies, strangers, and so forth.
어때래?
Is that right?
나도 시각하고 차라샤는로 그래서 나 좋아했잖아.
So do we have to leave everything behind when we die? Yes?
대가도 다시 전에 자나 길로 도고도 왔어.
So we can understand that, right? We accept that 100%.
그래서 대가도 신기해서나
Do we know that?
no.
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 I mean, intellectually, I get it.
그래봐. 대 탐시 보대 탐시는 다 차나 다 수수 제 잘라 수수 거 보 수보 안에 수보 지켜요 말했어.
So it says, leaving everyone or everything behind, I must pass away, right? So you can't take anything with you, including even your own body, right?
알아 보자. 나 같은 마시베 대만 마시베 다 대가 안에 수수 조보다 종어 비자 파마 니니데 찾아. It's hard. Maybe you can open the door. Or you can put the AC. A little bit hot, right?
So not knowing that, we have created so many vices or non-virtuous actions, right? For the sake of friends and enemies.
Right? If you're going to put heat, then you also AC, you can close windows. Maybe Kelly, you can open the window? No. Oh now you put the AC, then put. Yeah, I think you still this maybe fan. Then put the AC. Then you get cold. Put the 60 degrees. Good, now you got. Yeah, now to close the window. Oh yeah. Okay. Adi Humudra. Okay? This is a suffering. You see? Now we couple minutes. Don't complain, okay, to call. we not turn on, turn off until we finish. Okay? Then that amount of danger shares that never not shit. That is chair of Kanji Susu and Ganyada, Pinchada, Tendrigata, Susu, something to attend, which is the Nibamu Sayo.
So we have created so many negative karmas, right? For the sake of friends and enemies. So like friends, for one's families, one's friends, for their sake, we have created so many negative karmas.
What happened? Shadangadu Nibamu Sayo, the Yimbayana Yang, and it shows some songs of them. Manzanam Jang, Negation, Zavanam Jang, Namjang, Manger, Mebranger, Daja, Mebranjawati, Teja Tamshin, Mebajata, Soso. Anything near Dodo, anything Zashi, Chalamandore, Jachala Bada, La Dore, so much mad over this.
Then in verse 35 it says, my enemies will not remain, nor will my friends remain. I shall not remain, nothing will remain.
Today, that the Roshida, Nibashibu, that Dawes a sugar, Kanji, to Chick series to be in the chair, the Zambul Majagdo, Patseri. But the Chinamaja Pachu, that the Kurukulla shit over this. The town has Susu and Zania that the Chidanga to Kalamushu Jagger, Teladin, Nibamosari. They are much mad over this. Timothy Susu, even Nimachin, the town has Susu Jichala and much mad over it. That the root and the Nibamasa said.
Says, my enemies will not remain. So, like we got into a fight, go into a battle or war, to kill our enemies, right? But even if we kill them or not, they were going to die anyway, right? So no point going out to kill them and create, extra negative karma, right? And then nor will my friends remain. So even one's own friends and the families, for whose sake we create so many negative karma, you create so many negative karma for them, as if they're going to be there all the time. No, they're going to die too. Then all those things that you did for them will be all wasted. But you have the negative karma, and you create it under yourself. And then I shall not remain. And even for yourself, it says, even if for yourself, if you do something in this life, you will not be there forever to experience that, to use that. So there's no point either. And then it said nothing will remain. So all these things, the possessions that we have accumulated, by creating so many negative karma, and will also be gone. They will not have with us all the time. So here he's talking about the death and impermanence and the shortcomings of samsaric stuff. So all these things that we do in this life, at the time of death, it will just be like a dream, nothing else but just like a dream. So yesterday we did a lot of party, enjoyment, right? And today do we still have that feeling? It was like a dream, right?
Yeah.
No difference from that.
What it is, Nyamson, Yubo Kanda, Kanshaba, Teda Tendi, Yetanger, Debatamsa, Tomager, Teresa, that Terry pension the Chihuahua, Tonga Maris, Tonga Mango, Yoga Maris, and other President, that Moon Kabi, you could devastate you want the Chibachagres.
So that's what it says in the verse 36, right? So let's read that. Whatever is experienced will fade to a memory, like an experience in a dream. Everything that has passed will not be seen again.
Okay? What the Zumani Tadre, Pena, Chanasu Samuji Tadia, Chanasu Pena, Davadina Chosuya, and Yabudo Karicheo.
So is it really true like it said here? So think about it, think about the things that you did in this month, or the enjoyments.
Chudo Mandrevegi, and the Suzuki 저 대화로 가르쳐요.
So unrelated with the Dharma, right? So any enjoyment that you experienced, you think about that in this month.
나도 마무 제일 나도 제살했어.
So we have done so many, right?
단대 가려 가도 뒤 저 대화도 하면 되거든요.
So that feeling, do we still have that? Do we still have that good feeling that of the enjoyments that we did this month? Sometimes.
대셔 되면 대대요나 아니 나도 패션에 컨트롤 좀 잘하고 그러었어. 그 뒤 저도 콜라서 그 당이 아주 그 소리냐요 말에.
So that feeling is gone already, right? That feeling is gone. That you don't have that feeling. You can think about that, but you don't have that feeling. You don't get that feeling now.
Yes.
So can't memories bring back the feelings that we had?
그리고
저기 나도 템바기 니만 가도 소리 수 기능도 말해봐서.
또 초안들이 좋은 요소를 이용적으로 봐. 얘는 초아 그런 나도 말해.
So you won't have the experience itself. You can have the memory of the experience. Yeah. But not the experience itself. Not the feeling itself. You can have the memory of that feeling.
나 대가는들이 집어 좀들이 약을 친대가 같이 집어 줘서 대소소도 나 참바이 못 그랬어.
Yeah, you can think about that feeling. So, oh, I had a very good time that time. I did so much nice things like that. You can have that good feeling.
얘는
That memory of that good feeling. But you will not experience that good feeling now.
근데 저는 저런 게 수벌라 초합에 둘러가는 진jam보고 초합 야뭐 이제와이나 가상으로 그 이제와이나 다 대리차는데 아카상들 야고 초이나 대전바나 초합에 수벌은 양가 말했어.
So like for example, if you had a good feeling, a texture feeling, from a nice cloth yesterday, right? And then if you don't have that cloth, right now on, you will not feel that. But you can think about, oh, that was very good feeling. So that's just a memory. It's not the feeling.
I'm thinking more of an experience that I have with a friend, let's say.
제가 예선 근데 저거 삼성이야 고도서.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, same.
저게 삼성이 나한테 초요 말해. 저한테 잘못하다 해그래.
So you're thinking that it's the feeling, but it's not the feeling. You don't have the feeling. You have the memory of the feeling only.
어. 그냥 아주 밀어 가라고 대화 요구도 왔어. 저서. 저게서 안에도 밀면서 요구도 왔어. 대체 말했어.
So during a dream, right? So when you see when you experience a dream in the night, then you feel so happy. Oh, that was so good thing. But then when you wake up in the morning, it's, oh, that was just a dream. And you feel like that, right? It's similar to that.
그래서 이거보다 이뭐 강한 쇼바 대단한데 이것도 저선다 아니 저는 재미도 되게 그랬어. 저는 좋아도 내가 말했어.
And so it's just like this. The experience will fade to a memory. You will have the memory of that feeling, but you will not have the feeling.
초원이한테 이 가려드는 초원이는 얘도 좀 최고. 얘도 말하는 초원이 용거 말해.
So when you have the feeling through in contact with the object, then you have to have the object. Without the object, you will not have that feeling that you get, by being in contact with that object.
저기면 다니모지 소소 암들로 거니 이게 좋아되어 되겠나? 양조티 다디 암들로 고골마 암좀 가상나 다디 하고 싶고 고소서 되게 좋아되어 되도 말들이.
So if you get a good feeling from a nice sound, then you have to listen, you have to hear that nice sound again to get that good feeling. So when you say, oh, yesterday, I had a very good feeling from listening to that sound, then, that's just a memory now. You're not, because you don't have that sound. You're not hearing that sound right now. You cannot get that feeling. So in order to get that feeling, you have to hear that good sound right now. But if you say, oh, that was so nice yesterday when I heard that good sound, I had a very good feeling, that's just a memory now.
나도 좋아되어도 좋아도 오mon학 되게 올라왔어. 오mon학.
So the feeling, we get, is through our senses, right?
근데 되게 거는 얘든 전에 좋아처럼 얘든 맞은 좋아처럼 요 말해.
So then that's a sense object, the object, from where this, where we get the senses, the feeling, you have to, the sense has to come in contact, with the object to get that feeling. Without, being in contact with the object, there's no way you can get that feeling.
오케이. 근데 이거 네 가려고 했냐? 나도 생들었다 저쇼 땅에서 마무쇼 땅에서 난 제가 왜 키에 말고 준비해 내가 말했어.
So all the enjoyments that we had in this life, right? Enjoyments, and all the good feelings, the enjoyments that we had in this life, it will be faded into memory only. There's nothing you can have it all the time with you, or take it to next life with you. So only thing that we can take with us, is the imprint of the karma. And if it's a good karma, then we have the imprint of the good karma to take with us. So then how do we know that we can take the imprint of the good karma with us? How do we prove that? And so also we said the imprint of the non-virtuous action and the imprint of the virtuous action, we can take that with us, right? But how do we prove that? So in any logical reason, scriptural reason that we can provide to prove that?
Isn't that a deeply hidden phenomena? And because it's deeply hidden, you don't know what karma goes from one to here. So you can't prove it because it's deeply hidden, right?
신도 꼭 유로스.
신도 꼭지는
신도가 가서 리베드네 파 두에요 말했어. 거대 거란다 다가서 이치는 또 그랬어.
제대로 이치를 번이라 된 거거든. 같이 리베드 통은 돼야 통은 되게 같이.
But can you prove it logically? Can you or not?
통은 되게 거.
If you can, that will be good. That will be okay, right? That will be okay. Then you can say yes, it goes with you. But if you can't prove, then it will be difficult to explain or see how it goes with you.
알아봐. 다트조마도 배 고대로 년년이 좋아지는지 시와이나 남중간도 영어도 먼저 미카시 너만 나게요. 먼저 배나 파마치라 부니나 부라우니나 파미문이 샴표 제다 집바인 바차가 집바나야 그런 이야기를 지 남도 체준들 가가 삼도 따다야 가가 아니 지금 내가 제다 밑에로 가가 영어도 왔어.
So usually, we take the example, of like a twin, right? Like the identical twins, right? Who are born from the same parents, who have identical look, the same body, same face, but, their experience, will be different in their life. One becomes successful, one doesn't become successful. One is liked by people, one is not liked by people. That happens, right? Why is that? Right? That shows that there was some positive or negative imprints that was carried with them from their previous lives. How many people are there in this world? 7 billion?
디나라야 삼로 따따 지바 아니 내가 제다 지바 섭다 지바 로다 지바 되게 많이 얘기해.
So can we, among these 7 billion people, can we find 2 people exactly same in everything? The way they think, where they do, where they look, everything exactly same. Can we find 2 people like that? Why? That's our question. But if you go to a factory, where they produce this kind of cup, right? Where they manufacture cups, you can find exactly same, right? Same color, same design, same size, everything exactly same, right? You can find that. Why is that?
They look exactly the same, but they aren't.
What?
근데 집어지도 통과했어요. 나 집어지자 말했어. What difference is there?
Well, they were each produced at a different point in time.
되게 개발했어.
아,
되게 개발했어. 되게 개발.
코라 뒤쳐야 돼. 코라 저쪽가 나네. 코라 무전했어. 코라 무전이 쳐야.
But in terms of the design, the size,
Right,
the
exactly
color,
how they look.
that's same, right? 네, 동선 집어했어.
도다 집바인 바지. 코라 무역하는 쳐야 말다. 그 대마시면 대마시대 요절로 와면서.
So apart from the time, yes, it was made in 2005 and 2018 difference, of course. But in terms of its entity, right? Its nature of the cup, being the size, the color, the design, everything, that all same, right? Can be same.
뒤에서는 가요. 지지는 찐내가 차로 지지 차로 가요 쪽으로.
Yeah, of course, time was different. Yes, so one is produced, one is manufactured in that year, one is manufactured in this year. So that can be different in terms of the time, but in terms of the look, in terms of the design, in terms of the function, the space, the size, everything is exactly the same. Can be exactly the same or not?
Yes.
Okay, right?
대화의 가정에서 먼저 필요나 미신 다 놓고 미신 빠져 그러서 빠간 미신을 잘라 따로 열어 놓고
So that's why is that? Because we have created that, right? The design, there's the model, of that cup, and you have the model of that, and then when you use that same model on everything, that will be exactly the same.
당어서 미사도 딱 낫게 버려. 낫게도 오늘 파만이 됐다 보나 또 뭐지 잘라서 그 미신 소로 그러와서 잘라는데 지저나 찐도 그거 가요 그러와서.
Yeah, so but the human being is like their body of course comes from the parents, right? And so the parents egg and sperm, but then there's some other things that is also brought with them through their karma.
그래서 딱 먼저 남배에서 다 뒤잡으라 먼저 미 많다와 그 니바 첨보 차선 소다 말아와 트링이지 그 렌데서질 다 주세 요거래서.
So there's something that makes it different. Something that makes it different, even though they're born from the same parent, from maybe similar kind of egg and sperm, like same, what do you call that? Genes, some genes, right? So same kind of genes, but they can be different. Why is that? So that shows there's something behind, which makes them different.
딱 니마치 변은 남을 니마치 나도 sem제변나 sem제나 소도 집에 찍자 세도 집에 찍자 다 틀리지만 섬도 제가 집에 찍자 소도 왜 나지?
So someday maybe the scientists can provide maybe create a machine that will be able to make human beings exactly the same, right? So of course it has to be a human being, right? The mind has to go in there, it has to be conceived, but exactly the same. So same kind of conditions provided with all the materials like the sperm and egg and everything exactly the same. With the machine, then they can be maybe exactly the same. So that is so the same sugar, the same machine. So that would be not possible, right, for scientists, for people to make that, because it has to, for that to be a human being, you have to have a mind in it, right? But for the cups, you don't need it. It's just a material thing, right? So therefore, you can make it like that. So on that, so on the human beings, it comes with the mind, so that there's the, karma, and its result, that comes with that. So in America, we complain so much, right? So much about people in America complain so much about the things here. So there's no proper job, no good benefits, and all these things, right? But then from other people in other country, they are like working so hard to come into America. They're like, if it is pure land here, they think of this as even more than pure land, and they go through so much difficulties to get into America. Geshe heard that like from China, some people come to America, like illegally, trying to come into America, and they go through like so many difficulties for many months on a ship, and through the land and all this, and of course when you're walking on the land, it's all in the dark, can't come in the daytime, and in the ship, for many months, and Geshe said they sleep in a small room where they do their poops and everything there, right? And they have to just spend whole time there, and they have small hole to breathe out only, like that. So so all these good facilities that we have here, right? I mean, in every sense, like the food, the place to live, the vehicles to drive around, all these things are so good. It's also karma, right? It's the group karma of all the beings in here. And then also in some countries, there's always famine, droughts and famines all the time. And the whole country is like that. That's also group karma of the people there. So in this life, the people here in America have good and a pretty good lifestyles, right? And so all these things, it's of course one way is from your hard work also. If you didn't do anything, you won't be able to have it. But then on the other hand, also you need a good karma from the previous life, to be able to. And again, even to meet with that facility, then you have to have also good karma to be able to apply that good, facilities or good conditions. So the homeless people at Harvard Square, they become homeless on their own. They chose to be because they chose to be homeless, or how did that happen? How did they become homeless?
I mean, Harvard turned and Facebook double. Ko Harvard turned it down.
And then the Facebook guy who graduated from Harvard, and he became like what, second or third richest person in the world? How did that happen? So there are other people also like him who did same thing but not as successful as him, And of course we say, oh, he's lucky and others are not lucky. Can say something like that. People we usually say that, right? Even though they have the same level of knowledge, or they work same hard way, but one becomes successful, one not. So Buddhism says it is their karma, the karma that they created in their previous life. And then one has the karma and one didn't have the karma. So the one who had a karma, when they applied the condition, then he became rich. The one who didn't have a karma, even though he applied the condition, couldn't become rich. So it all depends on the karma. Then sometimes also we say, like, of course this is big caution in our mind, right? So some people who does all these bad things in this life, but become very successful, very good life and all this. And then some people who do very good, but they get all the sufferings and all the troubles. Why is that? So like in our case also, we try to do only good things, right? In our life, we don't do any bad things intentionally. But we always have problems in our life, right? Even though we're doing the best, we could, but we always have problems. So all the bad things and all the troubles, right? So either something that we see bad from with our eyes, or something that we hear with ears, or something bad experience we have in our minds, and all this all the time some bad experiences. So Buddhism says that is all karma. So the person who is doing all the bad things but becoming very successful is also his karma. A person who does very good things in this life but experiences all the bad things is also his karma. So it all depends on bad and good karma. So if we have a good karma, we will have a good. If we have a bad karma, we will have a bad. So if we want to have a good in the future, then we have to do good now. So if we want to have we don't want to have a bad in the future, then we have to stop, doing bad, now. So stop creating bad karma now.
바지 망아차로 숨주 강 레도와 대가는 내 살산데 강아 친선 말에 너도 대따오자 이거 말에 당도 테라마 강에 받아 야보요 최대야 니가 되는 곳에야 아니 선바야 보여와 선바야 보지와 뭐래래야 답시 가디나 공로 삼아다와 선바 부수도 맞아 되는 곳은 야보요야 다 당연 나도 가르쳐나 그 전대로 되게 맞아도 양주 짜로자요 말와.
So most of us here are above 30s, right? So 30 years of our life is already gone. Right? So what we did in that 30 years of our life is already gone. That's only in memory now. Yeah? So it can be only, we can't undo it or add on to that. There's nothing we can do about it, right? But we can, whatever remaining life we have, we can, from now, today, for the next future, we can decide what we're going to do. And not to create non-virtuous actions and try to create virtuous actions all the time. Be relaxed, be happy, like that. That we can decide. We can't go back and say, I want to be relaxed when I was 25 years old.
Okay? What is Tenley다 도중 선무당가 Tenley다 아니 지금 렌데사다까지 민망통 그 자로도 니바 친구 지어래.
And so, like that, karma, the karma and its result. That's something that we can't see. Right? Very powerful, but we can't see.
Okay? 다 드니쇼로가 심주소리인다. 레식 쓴데 내년라가 자담마다 담아세 대다 돈데 셰비드 무제 강연도 나네 에세나.
So let's read the verse 37. This is, even in this life, as I have stood by, many friends and enemies have passed away, but terrible sin induced by them remains ahead of me.
다 근데 다 뭐라서 빈 통치대 다들 빈 르도한 통대야 돼요. 그러면 나시 일단 잡아다 먼저 왔다마 아니 다 텐들어야 안 된다와다. 소소고 간이 본로 파마 아니 신도와다. 아니 지금 된지가 마음이 통도 왔어. 아니 다 나중에 소소고 대다가 텐데 시에샤베 대바도 니바도 아니 단다 소소고 샤메와 있나? 아니 소소고 냐에 하대요. 그래서
So it says like here, even in this life, as I have stood by, many friends and enemies have passed away. So all the friends and enemies for whose sake we have created these non-virtuous actions, they have already passed away, right? But the non-virtuous actions that we have created for their sake, the imprint of those non-virtuous actions is with us. And then it will remain with us, go with us into the future.
그래도 니발 샤요, 니발 메와서요. 다 가지는 것도 니발은 저 단자 녀도면 개인적으로 많이 말은 나도 단도직 내가 나타나와 생각강에 메와 간지 자주받아 쇼친 모두도 나도 수준 좀 많이 섬거다. 수준 좀 봐. 마음에 진다 수준 깔리 잡아랬다. 저디 기왕가 밀려라 그랬어.
And so those negative karmas that we create, non-virtuous actions or unwholesome action that we have created for their sake, if we have not purified them, then that goes with us. The imprint of those negative karma goes with us. And so the good thing about it is that we can be purified. So if we purify them, and then we'll not have to experience the result. And so also same with the virtuous action, right? So the imprint of the virtuous action goes with us also. So in this life, whatever good things that's happening in our life, like becoming successful, the things going the way we want, and all these things, is the result of good karma. Yeah? We think that, oh, I did it, I did it, I myself did it in this life, but it's not all that. Of course, you have to do yours from your side also, but it all depends on your karma. If you have had created a good or bad karma in the past life.
뭐 가더스. 단들 마토도 어느 처음 맞다고 시작이래. 오늘 주는 것도 내가 남람나 반도네야, 남람게야. 아니 지금 따왔음 진생가 타쳐봤음 세이드네요. 단주 걸라 마시 담아다는 빼고 있어래.
So it's all talking about death and impermanence, right? And then karma and its results and so forth. So if it's possible, you should go back to the Lamrim text, where it talks more in detail about the death and impermanence, like the 3 roots and the 9 reasonings, like how death is certain, time of death is uncertain, and only thing that is helpful at the time of death is the Dharma and so forth. So you can understand more about it.
다양한 초소 신나는 말인데 신나는 말씀.
I'm not trying to scare you by talking about it.
나도 시단 뭐봐요. 내서도 하고나 먼저 단단히 때 뭐하고 답이 제거와.
But it's like warning to ourselves, right? So if we warn ourselves, about the future thing that can happen to us, then we'll, prepare ourselves, so we'll not be so terrified at that time when it happens.
반은 먼저 마체야 이슈를 이따 소주 반 명강 이슈를 요 답이 제거도 왔어. 마체.
So most of us, we, get the medical insurance, right?
너도 다시다 누가도 나가면 왔어.
But you are not sick now. You're not sick now, but you get.
그래? 이나 가면 먼저 만나나 명강 이슈를 가지고 가서 나가 있나? 나한테 고해서 먼저 답이 제거 다리 제거로 와.
So even if you are not sick now, you get the insurance because you think, if I get sick, in the future, then I will need this. That's why I want to get the medical
그래
insurance.
나야 세대 단단만하다 나야 세대 용지지 임바 소소 때 나 추와 임바 걔네 제거로 와.
So that's because we accept that, disease is something that can come anytime. That can come anytime, and I may be sick. I'm definitely going to get sick, or I may get sick, and therefore I will need it at that time.
아니 뒤가 나와이나 강인 제거와 가서 단단히 그 요마다 가서 때 걔네 제거로 와.
So even though we don't experience that problem, that hardship, but it says, if I get sick at that time, I'll go through all this trouble and hardship. Therefore, I'm going to get the insurance now.
근데 이제 다 뭐가 강이 마야와다. 근데 그 체도 단단히 다 미상보시 제거요래.
And so in order to not face that kind of problems in the future, we have to be a good person from right now.
그러나 먼저 처벌은 집바지. 아니 제가 미집바이고 그랬을 텐데.
So that's our insurance. So that will ensure that we will not have sufferings. So it says that you have to be afraid of death, but not afraid at the time of death. You should be afraid of death, but not afraid at the time of death.
그러나 아니 처벌
That's the sign of a Dharma practitioner.
단단 처벌 템바야나 아니 단단 가서 다리 제거로 와.
So you have to be scared of death. If you are scared of death, then you will, be careful, right? You prepare, about the death.
어때? 단 저갖고 가는 막하나 그 지하나니까 지하태요 뭐라고?
But at the time of death, it's too late, right? Even if you are scared or not, even if you like it or not, you have to die. There's nothing you can do. That being scared will only make it worse. So
Okay.
don't be scared. Don't be scared at the time of death.
maybe two. 나 저도 신앙나 처마서 와.
Is it scary? Is it too scary for you?
오케이? 아니 더주고는 문이 지금 처와 못하고도 렌드 걸어 삼고 야부 지금 거나 하는 건도 문이 추나마 제도 그래.
So if we really think about, the karmic law of cause and effect and the death and impermanence, then we'll really be able to practice Dharma. If we don't think about that, we can't do practice.
야는 단 처와 못하고 무슨 가데나 선발 굿도 보지 아니 세미시나 되면 되게 잘 말해.
But doesn't mean that you have to be always sad and afraid, and all the time. It doesn't mean that when you're thinking about death and impermanence.
그리고 대가 단단한 거는 소소 다시다 때도 나대가 나서 누가 때문에 매와 진짜 강성에서 다 소소 문에 지금 못해 돼. 그리고 enjoy 적으로 왔어.
So even though we do have we all have a little bit of sickness in our body, right? Maybe not a serious disease, but some kind of disease in our body, some aches here and there, but we still try to enjoy our life, right?
대체로 소소 내가 소소 밑에 야본도 소소 하고 오거든.
So not just like that, So even though we have that worry, but we still enjoy. So it's the way of life, So we should, of course, try to enjoy.
단단 정화상하지. 남좀 내가 오늘 쇼치는 전에 간지 전에 뺀텐전 좀 버려. 오늘 전에 다 소소 enjoy 적으로.
So because we have all the facilities, right? All the favorable conditions to enjoy here. So you should enjoy.
단단하도 테스트 하우스는 나도 롱이야 빠시나 딱 내가 자서.
So we were a little bit hot, and then we turned on the AC. Now we're cool, right? So enjoying it.
나도 좀 텐전도 롱가 뭔가 요 말고 사람은 그 내가 하네.
We have that condition here, right? We have that favorable condition, Many countries don't have that. So they just have to go through the heat, even if they feel hot.
그냥 나도 정말 자살을 놓치 되고 가봐야 사와서가 사와 잘하더래. 이나 로고져요 말해.
So when Geshe he was studying in Sera, at that time, sometimes the heat goes above 100 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees Fahrenheit, right? And so, nothing you can do. Don't even have a fan, let alone air condition. Don't even have a fan, and you just have to experience the heat and go on. So nothing you can do.
로졸로야 가로 엑스큐티션 말 그런 남주 강을 저어도 다 채워야 돼.
There's no excuse to not do the study, right? So whatever you are doing on a daily basis, you have to do that every day.
그냥 아주 초조로.
It's hot or cold.
그냥 공부 중이들에다가 잡아도 늘 중에 님가 지도 중에 차가 자 차원도 남지 차고 파티 가마주 손에 가서 대그래서.
So during the prayer ceremonies, where the monks will be all sitting in the assembly hall, so they will all be sitting next to each other in very narrow cushions, not wide and more space like you have here. So very narrow cushions, and you just squeeze there, each other, touching their knees, with each other, and it's very hot, and and then still, there's no cold drinks. They serve the hot teas, and you just drink hot tea on hot weather, and experience the hot heat.
아니 개세 정말 이 구쇼 말이가.
And then you can't talk and you can't fall asleep either.
다 저는 내가 간바 파장 간바야 장 가지 제조다 단단한.
Here you have all this space and you can do, you can stretch your legs, you can move around.
안 조금 급자가 대처 그래.
And so if you're too, tired of sitting, you can go out and sit on the chair.
근데 나도 대가 공부할 때는 드럼 사고로 와. 대전에야 같이 주준이 이제 제가 두জন 속들어 대고.
So the rules are very strict in the monasteries, right? So when you're doing prayers, you have to sit there doing prayers for 2.5 hours like that.
아니 남지 타이나도 로저 제가 로저 먹고 제거로 와. 아니 소소가 제 클라스다가 나다 갑 대마저로 와. 대나로 추질로 대나 아주 추질로 대면 봐서 내가 샤 아니 나도 대고.
So the only way to heat, to cool down themselves is like sometimes they wet a towel, in the cold water, and then just put the hot towel on your head, and then keep on studying.
와, 들으다 같이 차오는 콜롱고단 단지가 말다 내려가서 좋아.
So even if it's hot there, there's no facilities, to turn on the air conditions. But here you have, right?
다 내가 도저히 된다고 난 남시 타고 가려야 있어요 말이야. 지 내가 너무 장로래.
So like in Bodh Gaya, in the summer it gets so hot, but they don't have AC or anything like that, and so many people die from the heat.
winter, Johnny.
And then also winter, same thing. They don't have the heat. They cannot turn on the heat, and then it gets so cold, and people die from cold also.
아니 공단 틀려야 자르는 남이 찾아 봐라 아마 뭐 강가처럼 또 맞대. 아니 조금 레조단 지쇼단 다 괜히 나한테 때문에다 되대 그래.
And then some people, there is so cold, they don't have heat, and then they just all the family they come outside and then they put a fire, and then they don't have facilities, so they collect anything like boxes or plastics, wood, whatever they can find. They just set that fire and then sit around the fire like that.
제가 아까 때 처음에만 캐모는 메르가 나서거든 도바ችን 이런 것이 너무 많대.
So then they get all these the pollutions, right, from burning the plastics, the chemicals, all this, but they don't have that knowledge, about all these bad things they're getting from this fire.
다 사야로 가래 때 사야를 그건 대상이 요모로.
And then same with the food, there's no choice, right? So whatever they find, they just have to eat that. They can't say, oh, I want to eat this and I don't want to eat that. They can't say that.
다 나도 다내 담아요 조금인데 캐먹고 내가 다지 제 말해서 전에 에스크스 쇼여러 가서 가서 담담.
But here we have so many choices, right? So this hand has this many things, and this one doesn't have these things, so we don't want to have this, we want to have that. We have so many choices here, right?
딱 가랑에서 정가지라도 지지 캐먹고 여인이 가서 넣는다 그래.
And so when we buy food, we always compare, right? The calories and all these things, how much they had, and say, oh, I cannot have this, or this one has too much calories, too much sodium, and so forth. We always choose that.
근데 진정으로 진짜 어떤 거는 수수고 딱 수수 그냥 싸서 쓰는 거죠 그래야 돼.
And so having that facilities is also a result of the good karma that we have created in the past.
대단 먼저 제가 내가 싸요 그래서 제가 지 내가 내 두자 싸는 거 제일 남으시다. 내가 싸요 먼저.
So you have created this karma, karma in the past, to have all these good facilities. Whether you think about it or not, maybe you don't think about that, but you do have created.
tenji da mo tenji 좀 봐야 버렸다. 오늘 전에 소소. 다 니마 데리 띄워주나 소소 인정 제거돼.
So because we have created that karma, as a result we have these facilities, so we have to enjoy, even if it's just for a day.
뒤에 가나요? 소소 단다. 딱 겨와 강한테 소소다. 딱 대네 대원 로발라 생지 지름지서 강 야영 거를 봐. 아니 너무 상전으로 그래.
And so knowing that is important, right? If you don't know, then you just enjoy, then that's it, you're done, you have finished it. You don't have any more left. But if you know it, then it says, oh, now it's because of that, so to have in the future, I have to create a good karma now. Then you create more good karma. And you enjoy good, and then you create more good karma also. And then you will have enjoyment, more enjoyment in the next life, in the future. And then that way you get better and better, and then one day you'll be fully enlightened. And then enjoyment all the time.
Okay? I think it's okay. Any other questions? Any burning questions?
Oh, Diablo.
Yes.
What is the best practice at the time of death?
아니 다 상주고 셈 잠바.
Loving kindness,
아니
bodhicitta,
아니 낸다 쪼대 아니 소소 개개 템바.
thinking about your guru.
알아봐. 저 집안에 아니 챈라고 레야보 야보치면나 시간을 같은 게 되는 시도이나 아니 대체마들은 계속 쟁 맞더라고.
So if you can die with that thought, that memory, even if you have not done good things in this life, but if you are able to die with that kind of good thought at the time of death, you will definitely have a good future life.
간제 디가라야지 게선로 야나치 우지 만으로 정기적인 대화로 같이 된다 남는 뭐 보여로 봤어.
So at that time, if you can have a virtuous thought, if you can have a virtuous thought, and then by doing a virtuous thing like reciting Om Mani Padme Hum, there are many things like that you can do.
간제 내차 세당 고르동인데 마지막 제가 빼는 거 전부.
And so not to have those delusional minds like attachment, anger, ignorance, jealousy, pride, and so forth manifesting at the time of death. Not manifesting. Of course, we have that, but not manifesting at that time. At that time of death is very important.
내가 누가 지대라 변나 미지 통로구나. 디가 미디 변나 공동을 남아주 공동 만나와 지세야 돼. 누가 지대토로.
So that is the reason why people are not, people are advised to not agitate or not make somebody angry at the time of death.
알아? 다른 소소 막아서지나 통로구나. 디가 고 민통한 로야 말했어.
So if it's your enemy who's dying, then you should not go there. By seeing you, he might get angry and then die with anger. That's not good. So if somebody is going to have this very strong emotion, either of the anger or attachment, then you should not go there.
Do you know we talk about that long term, right? Okay. Any other question? Okay. And the Jumala Chunzo then Chava Matabako comes some tanso, Lamont the Loshos.
So, like I mentioned earlier, if it's possible, try to read text from Lamrim on the death and impermanence, and then also, contemplate and meditate if you can.
Okay. Thank you. Happy holiday.
All right. Turn to page 39 of the prayer book, please. Saji Peki Jun Shin Meto From Ri Rabling Ji Ni Degem Padi Sangye Jingdu Meteo Gidra Kunam Dak Jing La Cho Parsho Jesu Lame Kuje Rapten Jing Nam Kar Trin Le Cho Chu Ge Padang Lob Zang Tempe Gyume Sabsum Gidro Koi Munzel Tatune Gushi Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. From my 2 collections, vast of space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion, when in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the 10-fold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Tong Ni Ning Je Zum Tu Ju Pe Lam Che Gang Chen Ten Drogun Chagna Pemo Tenzin Gyatsola Soa Debzo Chetan Druk Show. Page 49, short, long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tup sung chang ching jom go ke wei, tenzin gom pel wei, gong zo do po se, chong tung ke wei le mon tu dru, pa dak zo do je gun du jab ten show. Your form and body is all Buddhas. Your nature is that of Vajradhara. You are the root of the 3 jewels. Homage to you, O Gurus. In short, I seek your blessings, O Protector, to be cared for by you from birth unremittingly throughout all my lives, and thus to become your chief disciple, holding every secret of your body, speech, and mind. O Protector, please grant that all be auspicious for me to be foremost among your very first disciples wherever you manifest Buddhahood, so that all my temporal and ultimate wishes without exception may be effortlessly and spontaneously fulfilled. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Forevermore in life after life, may I, pleasing him in return, be forever fostered by an accomplished Mahayana spiritual master, the source of every virtue of this world and beyond. In his care, may I acquire in him a firm, unshakable faith, pleasing him by every means possible, doing nothing even for an instant to disappoint. May my spiritual master impart to me every instruction and every teaching in its entirety. Having understood them faultlessly, may I practice them and be able to bring them to perfection. May I never even for a moment fall under the sway of malevolent teachers and misleading friends. Having developed in every life belief in cause and effect, renunciation, the Bodhi mind, and the pure view, may I embark upon them continually with effortless experience. In every life, may every virtuous act gathered by way of body, speech, and mind be causes solely for the welfare of others and for the purest and highest enlightenment. Page 57, prayers of dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. And we will end on page 75. Mix them up. Me te wei te chen chen rei sig dream kem pei wang po jam pel yang gang chen ke pe su gen song ka pa lob song tra pe shabla so dem. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Damcha. This coming week, we will not have a Wednesday night class. There's going to be Guru Puja, so everyone welcome to join. That's going to be from 7 o'clock to probably like 8:30. And then the week after that, so on Sunday we'll have regular class. We'll also have practices of 35 Buddhas. I believe there might be another puja in there somewhere, so just look at the calendar. And then the week after that, Jado Rinpoche will be here. So please come join us for his teachings. He'll be here from Wednesday the 12th through to that Sunday. Just look at the calendar. It's got all of there's initiations, there's teachings, so please come join us. For that, we'll again, as always, need help with setup and takedown and things like that. So to look at the calendar, follow us on there, and that is it. And just some help clean up afterwards would be great. Thank you. Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Damchu.
The woman who usually waters the flowers is away this week, so she asked if I would sort of put it out there that she's not able to do it, and would somebody else please take her place.
Okay. Thank you.